Anxiety was after me in 2024. Yes, anxiety was after me, but I overcame anxiety. Yes, I overcame anxiety, and I'm going to be telling you exactly how I did that. So I'm going to be saying 3 things in this video that I think were the highlights of my 2024, at least so far. By the time I'm filming this video, there are still 2 days left in 2024, and anything can happen. There could be more surprises, more blessings, more lessons, But in 2024, so far, 3 highlights. First of all, the anxiety part. Let's talk about it. So first of all, I discovered that. First of all, let's backdate this. Actually, I had been struggling with anxiety. I know that one thing that has been able to, shake me over the years is anxiety. One way or the other, it was just always coming, right? And in 2024, it came again. I had to discover what exactly is the cause of this anxiety. First of all, that was the first thing I did, and I realized this anxiety was largely linked to NYSC. Yes, it was largely linked to NYSC, which I completed this year, thank God. So I was anxious because of one thing or the other, and when I realized that the cause of this is largely linked to NYSC, I knew that I couldn't really control NYSC per se. What I mean is that I can't control if I should leave NYSC or not, because I've started, I'm going to end it. So I knew that that part was beyond my control. So what did I do? I did the normal thing that I could do, go for CDS, the whole PPA thing, go for clearance, did what was within my control, and then other things that were not in my control, like whatever external factor that was trying to cause anxiety for me, I let it be. That is exactly what I did. I just put everything in the hands of God. I told God, I can only do what I can do. I can only do my part. I can only do the things that are within my control. The remaining things, oh Lord, take it. And that was how I survived through the phase, and eventually, completed NYC. Because I'm not going to lie, there was anxiety for reasons that I will not be stating here, but I had anxiety in 2024 and I overcame anxiety in 2024. So what would I say you can do if you're facing anxiety? First of all, think about what is causing this anxiety. When you figure what is causing it, think about, again, is there something that I can control about this situation? Is this something that is within my control? If it is, do what you can do to control the situation. And when you have done what you can do, if you discover that largely there is nothing else I can do, then you leave it for God. Actually invite God into the situation and say, oh Lord Jesus, take control of this. I lay it all into your hands. I can't do any more than I've already done, and He'll definitely come through for you. Number 2, I discovered this year that I want to pursue public speaking as a career I like professionally. I realized how much I liked speaking in public, and I have to say I attribute a lot of that to starting my YouTube channel. So shout out to me for taking that bold step to start my YouTube channel, because I realized this year that I can actually hold conversations with people that I have never met physically before. I met a lady this year that I never met her before, and I was just talking. I didn't even expect to be talking like that, because usually I'm a shy person, but I was holding this conversation and ensuring that we were having a conversation that was back and forth. There was communication. Yes, communication actually. And I was so impressed with myself. And I'm sure at some point you even got tired of me, like, girl, it's okay. Let's go back to why we are here. And a little backstory is that I was always that child who her parents would say, you argue a lot. When I was younger, you argue a lot, because I knew then if I wanted to stand on a point, I'll stand on that point. Whether I'm wrong or I'm right, I'll not stop. So my mom will often say that you argue a lot. Even till now, there are sometimes we'll have some conversations and she just already feels like you are starting to argue. She just says you argue a lot, you like arguing. She still says it till now. And I think for some time I had to kind of mellow down on that. I became really quiet. So I didn't really talk in public as much. Not because I didn't think I could, just because I didn't know how to. Yes, I didn't know how to do that. And I also didn't want to come off as someone who, always talks and argues and talk off points and that kind of thing. But I realized that recently, having started my YouTube channel rather, and just watching videos and getting acquainted with this whole public speaking thing, I realized that yeah, public speaking is actually something that I want to do and I would like to pursue professionally going forward, basically. So I know that to pursue public speaking is not just about speaking, it's also about writing to an extent, and it's about reading. It's also about reading. So I have decided to also make efforts to read more books going forward. I'm just going to bank on the people that know me and love me. Adeola, I'm going to mention Adeola because Adeola has been one that recommended books to me this year, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm currently reading one and I'm loving it. I like books that have humor, that I can laugh while I'm reading them, or they can actually spike my imagination. Like I can imagine really beautiful scenarios from the novels. Yeah, those are the kind of novels that I like, the kind of books that I like. So I know that I'll also have to read more, and I don't really like reading. Neither do I really like writing, but I know that I have to make efforts into doing these things if I want to become a better public speaker. So if you know me and you love me and you have any really, really nice book that you know about, please recommend them to me. Thank you. The third and final thing I want to talk about that was one of my highlights for 2024 is definitely me being self-aware. Listen, self-awareness is so important. Like, I don't think there is anything that beats self-awareness to an extent. Now, let me explain. No one needs to call you out on a bad attitude. If you discover that you have a bad attitude, you can change it yourself. You don't have to wait for somebody to come and tell you that, you do this too much, this is bad, before you change. No, I was so self-aware in this year that I realized a lot of things that I needed to let go of, that I needed to change about myself. I'm going to give an example. So this year, I realized that when it came to me spending my own money, in a stressful situation or in a situation that seems like there is some sort of foul play or injustice, I lose my cool. Like, the way I lose my cool is surprising, because it's like what you think would annoy me is not even annoying me. But I realized that when it has to do with me spending my own money and there's some sort of foul play involved or some sort of injustice, I lose my cool, because it happened to me this year twice. And the first time it happened to me, it took my sister to calm me down, because that's the thing. When I actually lose my cool and I get angry, my pitch, the voice, my voice will be so loud and I can't just easily stop. I want to keep going. Like, even if the other person stops, I want to keep going. And I realized that, wow, this is such a bad trait. It's not like it's bad that I'm standing up for myself, that someone is being unjust to me, but I think, I should know when to stop. I should also know how to control that pitch. I'm realizing that if I continue in that path, it could lead into something that I do not want it to lead into. I do not want to have anger issues like that, even if I know that generally I don't have that. But I realized that situation happened twice and it aggravated a side of me that I didn't like, because afterward I'm like, why did you act that way? You didn't need to continue shouting and trying to make your point known. You could have calmed down. And it took a lot to even tell myself that, because to be honest, I don't like being treated unjust. But it's good to know that you have to create a balance. Yes, you might be right, but there's a way you do things that even if you're right, people will consider you as being wrong. So I decided to change that, about myself, and I'm still working on that anyways, And one thing I did like when I realized this thing that I needed to change about myself was that there might be other things that we probably do that may not really be good. may not really be the best thing. And when we realize that, we can change it by ourselves. Someone does not have to come and tell us you have this character that is bad. No, we can change it by ourselves. It's absolutely fine to do that yourself. Because one thing I realized when I was getting angry and talking is that I never insulted anybody, because I had trained myself previously not to use curse words. I trained myself. Yes, it wasn't easy. I'm not going to be here and say, oh my god, it was so easy. No. I used to use curse words in the past. So when I tried to stop using it, I would still use curse words, but there was intentionality. I was conscious now. So when I use the curse words, I'm like, oh dang it, I call myself back to order. And that was how I reduced it drastically. I don't want to say I stopped, because mistakes and slip-ups can happen, but I reduced it drastically. And I realized that even when I was, getting angry at these people, like, why are you doing this? No, don't tell me that. I never insulted anybody. Never. But I also realized that was a trait I needed to change. I needed to calm myself down. I needed to learn how to calm myself down, how to know when to stop, and how to know how to, speak, reduce my pitch when I'm angry. So these are the 3 highlights for my 2024, and I hope you can actually think on what are the highlights of your year, and what are the things you think you can do better, you can change, or that you actually did really good in this year, or that you learned about yourself, new interest. I'd like to know. But I hope that me sharing these highlights with you also helped you in one way or the other. In my next video, I believe I'm going to be talking about 2025. What do I plan to do in 2025? And what are the steps that I actually plan to take to achieve some of the things that I want to do? And yeah, this is where I'll end my video today. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, do all the great stuff. You can see, because I'm just getting back into posting on YouTube. The vibe is not, but I'm getting there. So yeah, I'm going to see you